It's funny that when I first brought up the title of this top 10, I got a number of questions asking just what was this supposed to be about? Well, think about it. How many times have you failed at doing something in a game, whether it was a level, a puzzle, a high score, a challenge, or even a boss fight, and yet instead of giving up, you told yourself just one more try, because deep down you knew that you had the ability to succeed. So now that you understand its meaning, it's time to start my list of the 10 biggest one more try moments in video games. Let's start it off! There's not a whole lot of moments in the Sonic series that have made me utter the phrase, one more try. The levels are fun, but they aren't that hard, and the bosses are a joke. However, there is one element from the Sonic games that I do find myself saying those stubborn words, and that would have to be from the special stages. Beating one of them isn't a problem, and completing a second one doesn't raise the bar that much higher either. But trying to complete the 6 or 7 bonus stages in a Sonic game is when you'll find yourself saying those cursed words! For the record, Sonic 2's half-pipe is the easiest for me. I enjoy the CD special stages. Sonic 3 Knuckle Sphere Grid puts up a fight, but the one that always gets me is the very first one. I don't know what's worse, the fact that the rotating course always leads me to a trap, or the background messing with my psyche. For the most part, the first 6 worlds in Super Mario Galaxy 2 were pretty easy. Once I got to the S world, then I started losing some lives. Then my death count nearly tripled once I reached the beat you down and leave you crying galaxy. Or as everyone else calls it, the Grandmaster Galaxy. And the insane perfect run that comes with it. One hit, no checkpoints, frustration all around. Yet, I couldn't stop playing this until I finally beat it, and no game over screens were going to keep me down. If you thought Galaxy 2 was boring, you clearly never got this far. So shut your mouth. Ooh boy. Quite easily the cheapest boss in Kingdom Hearts 2 is also one of the most satisfying bosses because unlike most of the pansy bosses who use reaction commands to beat them, this boss only lets you block his attack. The rest is up to you. You can level up to your level 99 and have the ultimate Keyblade, but if your reactions aren't up to speed, he will cut you up. And if that wasn't enough, he teleports behind you all the time, summons walls of fire, drops meteors, but his cheapest attack is draining you of your life and magic. Unless you know how to counter it. He might be predictable after a while, but he'll still keep you on your toes, which is why I love to replay this boss fight and why I never save over the file. I mean, hey, there's no reason I should only get to play a good boss fight once, right? Chances are you probably haven't played this game yet. You know what? That's kind of my fault for not getting a review of it done by now so you would run out and buy it. But I'll get back on making that review someday. Sin and Punishment Star Successor doesn't really have a strong replay value unless you want to replay the levels again and again and again to get a better score each time. And I do! I'm currently only doing the first level as so far that's the one I can do without taking a hit. Level 1? You suck! Whatever, go play the game yourself. I have the leaderboards to thank for motivating me to get a better score, and so far I'm the 84th best in the world. Which is sadly nothing to be excited about when there are only 96 people on the board. More people need to buy this game. I love the Pokemon Battle Frontiers in Emerald and Platinum for how diverse they were, and the rules gave it that extra sense of challenge. Now, for those who know me, you know that this is one of the biggest killjoy moments in video games I have. But that doesn't mean it's not fun, unless you lose to a critical hit or something luck-based. Which is why I kept coming back to try those challenges again in both Emerald and Platinum, as well as to train new Pokemon who might just have what it takes to make the Frontier brains crack. Of course, that was after I played something else to make my fury die down because of the stupid luck factor. Oh man, the story mode in F-Zero GX is so difficult it will make you feel violated. And that's just on the normal setting. Few people will ever beat this mode because they either don't know how to play the game right, or they don't have the patience. But no matter what, you can't blame the game as it all comes down to how well you drive the Blue Falcon. And hey, even if you do get mad, you can always try the chapter where you take out 30 other racers. Now that's road rage! Yes! I don't think I have to tell you just how addictive it was to keep playing Brain Age so you can improve your brain age to make yourself seem smart. Playing for hours on hours to see how quickly I could solve simple math problems, or how fast I could say numbers 1 through 120, or even how many things I could remember in a short time limit. Yeah, I spent every day for a year playing this game, but this didn't just work on me. Ever try showing this at a family gathering only to have the kids actually want to do math problems, or have the parents see whose brain age is better? Yeah, it got intense there for a while, but it was all in good fun, and it made you feel a little smarter. or show that you were letting your brain grow to mush. Alright, let me explain this a little bit. Sometimes gamers don't just play the challenges they're given. They try to do things a little more difficult even when set on the hardest difficulty. For me, I kept playing the short single-player mode in Super Smash Bros. On very hard mode, but with only one life and no continues. That is a challenge that I kept trying to do as the years went on, or until Melee came out, and I've only done it once, with Pikachu. And that's the only game I like Pikachu in. Really, he was nerfed in Melee, became an unbalanced spam machine in Brawl, and I see him as overrated in his own series. But here, he's my best character. I'll always remember you for that, Spamachu. Whoa! Fire Emblem's on my list! Yes, this is what inspired me to do this list, because the game can be challenging at many points, which is what makes it good. But in this series, if your teammates bite the dust, then they are gone for good. Unless you reset the chapter. Now, you could be cheap and just put your weaker characters away, but if you want them to level up, then you need to have them out and battling. Learn to take a hit! Let me repeat, you can put away your weaker characters and just have these guys dominate, but sometimes you need characters like her to heal your party, and having everybody out at once makes the game tougher, which to me makes it more satisfying when I win. I know I could rescue them afterwards, but that still feels like chickening out. So as I said, this inspired me to make this list, but then I remembered something else. Something from my past. Remember that list of my 5 favorite optional and avoidable characters? Or because some people couldn't enjoy a list and got upset because it wasn't more correctly called playable characters, that I talked about the wall glitch in Mario Kart 64? That glitch was not easy to pull off and is still exceedingly difficult even to this day. I'll be lucky to get over it once now. I like to ask, how many of you have ever done this? And for those of you who did, how many of you did it for all 3 laps? Yeah, some challenges took me months and some challenges took me years, but this? I don't think I ever played any other game while I was doing this. That's still my best time for this course, and I spent days, if not weeks, competing against my brother for the best score to enter it in that Nintendo Power contest, from which we never heard back from. Must suppress the injustice! Oh, at least I have this to show for it. And that concludes this list, and instead of asking, why wasn't this game on the list, which is always annoying, just make a comment about your 10 biggest one more try moments in video games. That doesn't even make sense!